The two questions I'm going to address in this video are: what should a primary school pupil know about the internet and how might this most effectively be taught? A common misconception that children have is that the internet and the World Wide Web are the same thing. This is not the case and children need to be made aware of this. Technology is ever advancing. Children are referred to as digital natives. Most children are familiar with the internet from a young age. Berry highlights the key concepts that children need to grasp. Computer networks, including the internet, are made up of computers connected together. Children need to understand that computer networks can provide a multiple of services, and only one of these services is the World Wide Web. The internet works by connecting people around the world and passing on packets of data from sender to recipient. The internet has created many opportunities and provides children and teachers with a multitude of resources to enhance learning. Tim Berners-Lee created the World Wide Web in 1989 through the creation of HTML, URL and HTTP. Since then, the web has evolved and is still changing today. It is important that children are taught about the internet and the World Wide Web and are therefore able to identify the difference between the two. The national curriculum states that children in Key Stage 1 should be able to recognise the common uses of technology and how to use it safely and respectfully. By the end of Key Stage 2, children need to understand computer networks, including the internet, and how they provide multiple services such as the World Wide Web. Also, children should be able to recognise acceptable and unacceptable behaviour and how to report any concerns. Norton describes the internet and the World Wide Web for a railway analogy, with the internet representing the tracks. Web pages represent just one of the many forms of traffic that runs on a railway network. To understand and visualise this concept, children could physically create the internet by holding hands, to represent the connection between cables which data travels along. In order for children to grasp Norton's analogy, pieces of paper with different kinds of traffic could be passed from child to child, for example representing email, software updates and Skype. An interactive method of teaching children about the internet is creating a website. This encourages children to collaborate in a dialogic approach supporting Vygotsky's 1978 theory of social constructivism. This will help raise issues such as digital footprints, which will lead on to teaching about e-safety. In contrast, Palmer portrays how technology can have a negative impact. Technology has replaced outdoor play and virtual games have taken over traditional games such as skipping. The internet has many benefits, however Palmer argues, how can children have a healthy mind and body when they are just staring at a screen? Palmer states that technology changes so fast, meaning what we teach children today may no longer be relevant in the future. Ofcom found that 87% of children aged 5 to 15 go online using a type of device. This figure has increased significantly over the years. 7 in 10 parents of 5 to 15s who go online at home or somewhere else have rules in place about their child's online activities. This statistic is quite concerning, highlighting that 3 in 10 children that go online have no rules for their safety put in place. The Bryan Review addresses children's and parents' concerns about the internet. More increasingly, children need to know how to stay safe and be aware of what information they can trust. The Ofsted report on the safe use of technologies emphasised that the most successful schools visited in terms of their e-safety ensured that their pupils knew what to do when things went wrong. Blocking material online is not always the answer, as schools have no control over what pupils access outside of school. Websites such as YouTube can provide great resources in the classroom. The aim should be to teach children how to access the internet responsibly, not just to limit their use. On my last Block School Experience placement, unfortunately, I saw no evidence of computing in school. I feel this contributed to several issues of cyberbullying through various social media sites that were not appropriate for children to be accessing. For example, there was an incident on Instagram involving inappropriate material. There was also a case of cyberbullying over live chat on the Xbox. Both of these cases were brought to the school's attention by concerned parents. In conclusion, schools do not teach children enough about the risks of the internet. To ensure teachers are not afraid to teach about the internet, they should attend training courses. Examples of these are NAACE and CEOP. Teach meets are also an informal way of gathering ideas to put into practice in the classroom.